Don Hamilton has been with the Oregon Department of Transportation for many years, but probably not 105 years, which is what we're talking about today. It was on this day in 1919, February 25th, that Oregon became the first state in the Union to enact a gas tax. It was a 1 penny a gallon tax, and over the 105 years, Oregon's roads have been funded and improved. And over the about 10 years, every state in the union followed Oregon's lead. So, Don, thanks for joining us today. I know it's a busy day for you, and you're giving us a part of your Sunday. I appreciate that. Thanks so much.
Good to be with you.
Thanks. So the money that's raised, they raised $342,000 that first year for Oregon roads. Now it's about 40 cents a gallon, which, by the way, that's included in the gas pump price, correct? So when somebody goes to a gas, okay. So the 40 cents a gallon. Is the money mostly spent now on maintenance or new construction?
Well, the money under state law, under the state constitution, actually has to go to highway projects. That's what a determination that was made by voters a few years back. So the money has to go to state highway projects. So that's where it goes. Now that's a pretty big arena to talk about highway projects. But yes, it has to go to road improvement projects and a lot of different things. That can be maintenance. It can be highway improvements.
Do people still get upset about the gas tax? Is there really a move to like roll back gas taxes or get rid of it or anything like that?
Well, nobody likes to pay taxes. And I think, especially as we see gas prices increase, which they do from time to time, people always get worried about it. And that is something that the voters actually have a say in that too, through their legislators and through the initiative and referendum process that we have. So when the price of gas goes up, there is oftentimes discussion about how can we reduce the price of gasoline. The gas tax is actually one way that we have a handle on that too. We haven't seen any initiative or referendum effort go toward voters though.
Now, I know that the people think of the gas tax as just for like consumer vehicles and stuff, but it's also jet fuel and aviation fuel and that kind of stuff. Do you know, are there any plans to increase the per gallon tax? Do you know?
There's always conversations underway. Now, right now, legislators are discussing different ways to change the way that ODOT funding is administered, and that's going to come up at some point in the 2025 legislative session. They've just had some very early preliminary conversations about what that's going to look like. Now, whether that is going to involve changes in the gas tax is an issue that really hasn't come up, but that's a possibility. Whether that's changing in the gas tax, that's a possibility that may come up during the 2025 session, but no decisions have been made on that. But that's something for lawmakers during the 2025 session that they may address.
Now, it's a fun fact. When Oregon introduced this gas tax 105 years ago today, the price per gallon was about 25 cents, which today is about $4.46 per gallon. So I just checked in Multnomah County, the average gas tax today is $3.95, and that includes the 40 cents a gallon. So that means that today's price is actually cheaper than it was 105 years ago. Just thought you might want to know that.
I think it's also interesting to note that when that 1 cent per gallon gas tax went into effect, is we were talking about getting Oregon out of the mud. That's one of the things that the Oregon Highway Department, as it was known in those days, was trying to do, was to get Oregon out of the mud, trying to build more effective roads.
Last question for you, Don. A lot of move toward electric vehicles and electric vehicle charging and all that kind of stuff. Would as that becomes more prevalent, would that affect the revenue that's brought in from the gas taxes?
Yeah, that's had a big effect on it. And that's one of the reasons why things have changed so much. Not only are cars becoming more efficient and are using less gasoline, which is very good on one level, good for the air, good for climate change issues, but it's also changing for the electric vehicles too. With the with the increase in electric vehicles, obviously they don't use any gasoline at all. So we see a steady decline projected for the rest of the 20s in gas tax revenues coming up. Now it's pretty steady right about now here in the mid 20s, but we're projecting a steady decline in gas tax revenues coming up through the rest of the 20s. So we're really concerned about what that's going to mean for the revenues coming up that ODOT's going to have available for maintenance, for funding, for all the things that we use the gas tax revenue for.
Well, Don Hamilton from the Oregon Department of Transportation, thanks for giving us a few minutes of your time today. I certainly appreciate it. And I hope you have a safe and happy rest of your day.
Thanks. Good to be with you.